So we've been looking at word setting as a concept, and I thought that when I said you can force any words into any rhythm or style, there was some raised eyebrows. So I had a little challenge to myself, and I decided to reset the first phrase of "If she forsake me" to show you some ideas about word setting. So the first thing I did was I just simply typed in the original rhythm. Then I thought, all right, well, let's try to make it a little bit more rhythmically flowing. I identified "if she forsake me, I must die" as my strong words. Shall I tell her so, or tell her so, as my strongest parts of the phrase. And I've put in this little rhythm and a lovely little melisma there on the word die with 5 sounds yet to be decided. 1, 2, 3. If she forsake me, I must die. 1, 2, 3. Shall I tell her so? And I thought that might go reasonably slow, probably a bit slower than I said it then. And then I thought, all right, let's try something very simple in 3/4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If she forsake me, I must die. Shall I tell her so? And then I thought, well, all right, let's try to get something a little bit more syncopated and groovy. Yeah, so I just went with our old friend syncopa. If she forsake me, I must die. And you can see how I've syncopated that by I could have put the die on the third beat, but I put it a bit earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4. Syncopatita, syncopa, titam, syncopa, yeah. And then I put the original one back in for a bit of fun later on. Okay, so these are all just done on a completely flat pitch, as you can see. I just randomly chose G because "if she forsake me" was in G. But normally I would just use B because it's the middle line. But anyway, it doesn't matter. And then I thought, all right, well, what sort of accompaniments do these lend themselves to? We talked about just putting chords on the top, but here's another idea. You could roam through the Sibelius Ideas Bank and use one of them as your starting point, and then use the variation techniques that you've previously learnt to move beyond the given idea into a whole series of manipulations. Here's my choices here. In this one, I just simply wrote out the chords in the original piano part. Let's have a look at this one. I looked at this rhythm, "if she forsake me, I must die." So I just searched for piano 4/4. And because 4/4 is such a common time signature, I got lots of options. So really, I could have just chosen any of them, but for some reason I just decided to go with a Latin one. Yeah? As you can see, there's many things in here, so maybe I should put solo in my search. And I might be able to find it. Oh, there it is there. But there's loads of other ones, yeah? Anyway, you get the idea. If she forsake me, I must die. 2, 3. Shall I tell her so? I don't really know why I thought that would go, but I just did. And the same business over here. I just put piano solo 3/4 in here to see what I would get. Nothing. Then I put in just piano 3/4, and I got a few more options. And for some reason I picked the classical romantic piano, but there were other alternatives. But I just chose that one. Now, if you're wondering what's in there, you can always look at them in the non-compact view and sort of see them a little bit more clearly. See what's actually in there. You'll notice that it's in 2 bass clefs, and it's in a strange-looking key. When I paste it in, it just goes into what it thinks the key is, and because there's no key signature, it thinks it's C major. So probably if you've got a key in mind, you might put the key signature in first so that when you paste the idea in, it works. So here's my 3/4 one. Let's have a listen to this. If she forsake me, I must die. Shall I tell her so? Now, obviously I've added in an extra bar. You'll recall the original thing was a strange length of 3 bars. I've made mine 4 or 8 bars long so that they are more traditionally structured. Anyway, I think you'll agree that sort of worked quite well. And then I thought, oh, let's try something a bit wild with my syncopated one. How about a bit of hip-hop? Same business, I just put hip-hop in here and tried to find what I got. You can also put sort of piano in, obviously. And I listened to some and I thought, oh, I quite like this one. Let's try it. If She Forsake Me, remember? So it sounds pretty good the way it is, but I thought, well, those rhythms look pretty psycho. Maybe I'll just hold on to them. And I can't do this because I'm sort of in a version, but I selected them and then doubling thing, yeah. So I got a double version of the sound, which I thought sounded also quite nice. And then I thought, well, hang on, let's just prove how easy this is. So I got the original rhythm and I put the chords from Rihanna's Stay on it and the accompaniment from the Stay. And I thought, oh, that could work. Okay, so once I'd got my piano ideas in, I pretty much just looked at what was in the piano part to make some melody choices, because you know that melodies are mostly chordal notes through the harmony. Another way of doing this would be just to keep the rhythms of the Sibelius idea but change the notes to chord progressions of your own choice, and I've previously made a video on that topic. So now that you've watched part 1 of word setting, you can go on to part 2 where I use these same accompaniments to work out melodies from the given harmony, or alternatively my video on using the Ideas Bank but changing the harmony to suit your own given chord progressions, but just keeping sort of style and rhythm ideas. So now that you've watched part 1 of word setting, you can go on to part 2 where I use these same accompaniments to work out melodies from the given harmony, or alternatively my video on using the Ideas Bank but changing the harmony to suit your own given chord progressions, but just keeping sort of style and rhythm ideas.